I am an illustrator in 12-step recovery. I go by the name 12 Drawings. If you go to a 12-step meeting, you will hear often a prayer called the Serenity Prayer. That's the one that begins, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. It didn't actually come from the 12 steps or its literature. It came from a theologian named Reinhold Niebuhr, who did happen to write that prayer about the same time that the big book of AA was being written in the 1930s. And I really, like many people, appreciate that prayer very much, whether you're in recovery or not. It's a beautiful prayer. And I decided to get a 1934 dictionary and look up the key words in the prayer, just because I wanted to help myself remember and maybe have a deeper understanding of the prayer to resist my habit of just saying it without really thinking about it. I looked at the word difference. We ask for the wisdom to know the difference. And in the Webster's dictionary of the time, the word difference was defined as the quality of being partly or totally unlike in nature, form, or quality. Now, you might have to read that a couple of times, but it's basically saying it's the quality of being unlike in some way. And that makes sense. That's what my definition of difference is. As an illustrator, and there's a picture of my pen, as an illustrator, I was trying to figure out how to make a drawing of something called difference. And it actually turned out to be pretty hard because, an elephant looks different than a penguin. It'd be easy to draw things that look very, very different from each other. So that got me wondering, well, what are some things that are very different but could be possibly mistaken for each other? And what came to mind to me, this is going to sound silly, but I had a relative who was very, very picky when they were ordering in a restaurant. If they said, I want to have my broccoli steamed, and they brought it to the table and it had been, the wrong shade of green, they would, oh my gosh, they would go into outrage. This is not the way you cook broccoli. This broccoli has been overcooked. I wouldn't feed this to and it would just go on and on like that. And it was understandable maybe the first time it happened, but when I realized it was a habit, it really became like you were making such a drama out of your broccoli. And so I laid down in the drawing a photograph of a, yes, mushroom cloud. This is a drawing of a photograph I saw of an actual atomic explosion. And in the drawing, you can kind of see the way they're juxtaposed that, there's definitely a resemblance. But what's the difference? One is, I don't really like the color of the broccoli that you brought me. The other is the destruction of life on the planet. So I'm not laughing because that's funny. I'm just laughing at the contrast. If I get worked up like this, and believe me, my relative is less guilty of it than I am. If I get overworked about something and make everything into a big drama, oh, you better not steal the Parker Place I was trying to get into. I will absolutely go to war with you. And that's so silly. But it's me. It's my broccoli. It's my atomic bomb. So I did pray that God would show me the difference in order to be able to get back to the real world and just maybe eat that broccoli. And remember next time to ask them, would they please, bring it to me less dark, whatever. There's more on the website, 12drawings.com. Thanks so much for listening.